Guys, it's 2019, and that means the race is heating up for this year's most hotly contested award. I'm talking, of course, about worst game of 2019.
Biggest fail of 2019, will it be Anthem, everybody?
Raiden, turn the game console off right now.
What did you say?
The game is a failure. Cut the power right now.
I'm feeling Anthem. I think it's the game that is going to be the biggest fail, but there is other contenders, like Wolfenstein 76.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody.
What the hell is even that?
It's coming out of the shadows. I feel it behind it.
Definitely.
It's clipping at the heels.
It's really an up-and-comer in that regard.
Not to mention, we've also got Diablo Immortal. Is it going to come out? Is it going to be the winner?
We don't have any plans at the moment to do PC.
Are we even going to see it this year?
I think they just deleted it and they hope no one ever asks about it ever again.
I think it's gone. But the difference is, I think, that, you know, Machine Games is actually trying to fix their game. Anthem's has given up entirely. We might actually return to that story later. But until now. But for now, let's just check out what's been happening with Wolfenstein Fail Blood.
So Wolfenstein 76, man, this was a tough release, I'll tell you that.
The game is a failure.
I think a lot of people were quite excited about this one. I certainly was.
I loved Wolfenstein New Colossus. I thought it was fantastic, the 2017 release.
Yep.
The other games were fantastic too. I mean, I didn't really play them, but I'm talking about Wolfenstein Return to Castle Wolfenstein.
That's pre-Machine Games. That's back in the day.
Sure, but that was
a great game.
That was when I really started loving Wolfenstein. I jumped on again for the 2017 release, and then I jumped on again for Youngbloods, and in between, a lot of people love the ones in between. Now, the new one, of course, is a giant meme.
I'm gonna wreck it!
Unfortunately, when the Youngbloods came out, it really, let's just say, missed the mark in a few regards.
I don't think I've ever seen a game that's more missed the mark from what they previously kind of put forward, you know, in terms of concept and idea and just like theme of a game. It just was so out of it, it became a giant meme straight away.
It was quite stunning how they really took an idea that people loved in Wolfenstein and they said, like, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the exact opposite of all the shit you like.
Yeah.
Here's Wolfenstein 76.
To them, you're just a freak. Like me.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it really was just completely ignoring the fan base that they built over their generation by just piling on all of this live service garbage, open world repetitive bullshit, terrible like RPG systems that were just so like crowbarred in.
Yeah.
And it was just really disappointing, and I think obviously that was reflected in the user scores.
So Metacritic, general reception, everyone was just like, this is the worst game I've ever seen. I don't think I saw one good review. Like on YouTube at least, like actual YouTubers that were reviewing these games, I did not see one that was like, this is a good game, everyone.
Not from YouTubers. I feel like some like media outlets were giving it like 8 out of 10.
Interesting, everybody. I wonder why. Advertising space, everyone.
That was a bit weird. A bit curious about that one. But certainly everyone else was just like, no, this is a terrible tragedy of a game. User score is just comically low. And I think it's really justified. Like, because as I was playing through it, I was like, yeah, I think this is about a 3 or 4 out of 10.
Definitely.
And sure enough, that's sort of where the user score landed.
And luckily, okay, Bethesda Machine Games have come back. They're like, look, let's try and fix this game, everybody. They've recently now come out with a video saying what they're going to be fixing, what they've already fixed, and what to look for in the future. So this is what they said. Let's get into it.
Hi everyone, I'm Andre Carlos, Community Manager for Wolfenstein Youngblood. Since Youngblood's release, you've given us a lot of great constructive feedback.
Constructive feedback, that's one way of putting it. Very nice, I like it. And can I just say as well, as you watch this video, or like these little highlights, just think about like how similar this stuff is to a lot of the Laymen coverage of this game.
And apparently a lot of the skill up coverage. Okay.
Well, the Laymen coverage and skill up coverage is kind of the same, but I really get the feeling that Bethesda kind of watched the Laymen's coverage on this. I think they got their talking points from us.
I think they like our show.
I think so. I think they're fans.
Since Youngblood's release, you've given us a lot of great constructive feedback on areas where the game might have been a bit too difficult, as well as requests for features you'd like to see added to the game, like being able to pause in offline mode, are already in the game. But let's look ahead to our next update, version 1.05. One of the biggest things we're doing in this update is rebalancing the efficiency of your weapons. We're also reducing the damage resistance of armored enemies when they're hit with non-preferred weapons. You're also going to be finding a lot more ammo throughout the game, and if you fall below a certain amount of ammo after losing all your shared lives, you'll respawn with more. We're also adding more checkpoints within certain active missions. We've also rebalanced enemy difficulty in all boss fights, particularly the final boss fight with Lothar Brand. We've improved your sister's AI, and she will now have a bit more self-preservation instinct.
Okay, so that was a supercut of all the stuff, but just to reiterate some of the major stuff. First of all, you can pause when you're offline now, which you couldn't before, which was absolutely ridiculous. They are doing a weapon rebalancing, which has a whole bunch of stuff in it, but the main thing is, when you're using a gun that isn't the right ammo type, you're still going to be doing at least some meaningful damage, where before, if you weren't using the right gun, it was just like firing a pillow shooter.
Yeah,
you know?
and there's more ammo now. That was
my God.
the worst part of
Ammo in
this
this
game. I
game.
felt like I was playing Resident Evil Wolfenstein.
so
It was
bad.
so annoying. Thank God, but look, let's face it, I'm not coming back to this game anyway, so I won't even experience the new ammo.
Checkpoints have also, they've been added.
God, the amount of times you'd be like 20 minutes into a game, decently, like, you know, pretty much towards the end. Oh, by the way, you died all the way back to the very beginning.
Really painful.
It was an actual meme.
And enemy boss battle difficulty has also been rebalanced. The last boss in particular is such a pain in the ass. Trust me on that. Also, when you respawn now, you're going to have ammo. Hey, how about that?
Oh,
do you believe that when you died in this game at a boss, you would restart that boss with 0 ammo or like almost no ammo? That is absolutely mind-blowing. And they've also said that they've rebalanced Sister AI, which means she won't
just stand there, just dying.
just stand there all the time.
One of the worst things about this game was literally the revive loop. You would revive her
God.
in the middle of a crossfire, you would die, she would revive. It was just ridiculous.
So bad.
Ridiculous.
So, look, those are the things they're doing. Unfortunately, they can't patch out the Sister entirely, which is a damn shame.
Yeah, I was going to say, there is no actual tuning or patching or fixing the sisters, everybody.
nothing.
Sadly, we still have to deal with them, okay?
BJ's
I was
black.
hoping for a cutscene where BJ's like, fuck this, you're not my daughters.
Oh my God.
What is it?
You're an embarrassment to my bloodline. Both of you. And I won't have you in my bloodline anymore.
Either way, okay, first of all, we have to say it's good that Machine Games are taking these steps. Obviously, right? Good on the devs, they're working hard. And I would say as well, like, in all likelihood, these issues with this game were probably raised by the dev team during development, and they weren't given the chance to fix them because they had a deadline to meet and Bethesda wanted to push it out the door.
Yeah, I agree.
Most of the time when this sort of stuff happens, it's not the developer's fault, it's the publisher who pushes out something before it's ready. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't, we don't know. Let's give Machine Games the benefit of the doubt here and say, cool, hopefully that's the case, and good on them for trying to make this better.
I mean, they must have been completely blind to not see these basic problems. So I have to agree with you in that. Like, they might have gone like, "Hey Bethesda, we need 3-4 months to actually get this to a level that's presentable." And Bethesda's like, "Nah, sorry, didn't you see Fallout 76? That's
right.
fine.
That's
So
still
this
sold.
game's fine, man. Is it disconnecting all the time? No. Whoa, holy shit, it's better than 76. Get it out."
So,
you know?
and I think this is really where I come to the frustrating part of this reveal, this video, this update, whatever else. This is the sort of shit that should have been in the fucking game day one. Like, this is just a reminder of how comfortable companies are to ship completely broken games.
Especially Bethesda.
Especially Bethesda.
Yeah.
Like, we literally played this game for 10 hours and immediately identified every single one of these issues that they have spoken about. I swear, that's why we joked that they got their talking points from us.
Yeah.
But everyone else was saying the same stuff. All the reviewers were
Mostly
saying the same
Laymen,
thing.
okay?
Mostly Laymen.
Let's be real.
But like all the reviewers were saying the same thing, identifying these issues, because once you play these games, you immediately see this stuff. And so, like, the game went out. And it's like, why is this okay? Why is it okay for games to ship in this state? And it's like, it really comes back to this quote that Todd Howard
I was
put
going
up
to say,
a few
it's
months
Todd Howard
ago.
right there.
And it's like, it's this idea of, like, it doesn't matter how the game ships, it matters where it lands in the end. And, like, that's such a shitty model for AAA games development. And we are in the middle of it all the time.
He was talking about live services, but I'm sure he's using that same philosophy at Bethesda. I think they're using that same philosophy for other games that they're making.
But this is a live service game.
I mean, it is, yes, yeah, fine. But in terms of, like, what we've seen here is what they're also their attitude towards single player experiences. Now, it's a 10-hour game, right? They've included these patches and these fixes so late in the piece that most people will not even feel these effects.
Yeah.
Now, with this whole microtransaction patch, which a lot of people probably remember, where they fixed a loophole where you could use a cheat that you can get extra coins, you can get some of the stuff in the shop. That means that they were losing money, of course. Bethesda was losing money because people didn't have to then buy in-game currency. Like that, they fixed that.
That was in 4 days they fixed that
The priorities, man, they fixed that shit so quick. So it just shows that, we've said this before, I still feel like in a lot of ways they are morally bankrupt in terms of like, their priorities are like, let's make sure that we fix the monetization ASAP, but the quality of the game, we've barely like, you know, given it the tick of approval, let's get it out there. It gets completely review bombed, but again, that's not their priority. Let's just make sure that we fix, you know, the patch that lets people get coins quicker. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is unfortunately very much the case. Look, Wolfenstein 76, it's too late for this game now. You have probably out there, you've purchased it, and you've played it, and there's no way you're going back to it no matter like how many fixes they make to it. It's cool for people who want to buy it on sale for $5 at the next Steam sale. Good on them. But like loyal customers who bought this on day one because they're invested in the Wolfenstein franchise, they don't get the fruits of this at all. Like, at all.
And not to mention, a lot of people that might jump on now, they've probably got a friend telling them, dude, don't bother with this game, it's shit. You know what I mean? Like, so like, again, we come back to the same point. They're not patching the sisters out, so don't play the game.
My bloodline anymore.
There's no reason, man, you know?
You're right, poor BJ, man. So sad.
Anyway, guys, that is it.
Best name, worst daughters.
Yes, well, we weren't going to go there. So, anyway, guys, thank you so much. Love you, appreciate you. We'll probably see you tomorrow. Actually, we might have a review for you guys tomorrow. We'll see.
We will actually. We're going to have a review for Greedfall. So.
Oh, well, hopefully we'll. Okay?
No, we will.
We will. Okay, goodbye.